Hello, all you wonderful Rise of Kingdoms players out there. This is Dragothien here. Today we are going to do another battle card, and I wanted to do it on a garrison setup. I haven't done really many garrison type of battle cards. It's been mostly for open field, maybe even a little bit of rally. But this is a common question I do get. Do I go after Theodora or do I go after Zenobia? This is obviously late game garrison commanders, guys. For those of you that haven't reached that point in the game yet, it's coming, and it's coming quick. Okay, so you want to make sure that you are prepared, because these are both very expensive commanders to max. They're both MGE commanders, meaning you've got to at least get into the top 15 to unlock this commander with one MGE, or you have to have multiple top 100s, top 50s to unlock eventually. And again, these two commanders are must-haves when we're talking about organizing an alliance and talking about organizing kingdom strategies, and certainly talking about organizing Ark of Osiris strategies. You've got to have these commanders in your repertoire. You've got to have people around you and yourself even that have these commanders, because they're so good. In different roles too. So there's different things that each one of these commanders do really well. We'll go over them. I've got my standard 5-piece system here. I did adjust the last one to Ark or KVK on where they're better at. But we'll do a quick kind of summary on them as well at the end too, just to showcase when you should use these commanders to maximum effect. So first things first, damage is the first priority here. We want to kill the rally that's coming into these garrison commanders' structures, whether it be your city or whether it be an open field or Ark structure. You want to have damage. Who wins out on this one? Knowing what we know about the skills for both of these commanders, I think it's pretty safe to say that you get Theodora with the check mark on this one. Theodora has that primary AoE damage, which was increased whenever she first came out. Her AoE was so itty bitty small. It was so small. It was cute. Theodora's AoE has since been revised to be a little bit bigger. Got a little bit enhancement there. So we have a bigger AoE for Theodora, and it's a pretty sizable AoE when it comes to the damage too. You do quite a bit of damage to anything in a circular AoE, and you don't have to expertise to get that AoE too, which is also kind of nice. Not too shabby. But again, very good. Zenobia does have a damage component, but it's a % chance damage component. Her main thing, and this goes into the second tier here, is surviving and counteracting damage being done to her, specifically main rally type damage. So your normal counterattack and even primary nuke to a certain degree, Zenobia really helps fend off, and that's why she gets the check mark for survivability. She's got healing out the wazoo. Now, on this channel, I can't tell you how many times I have stated, do not use Richard in your garrison, because all you're doing is bringing your troops back with the heal, and all you're doing is just bringing them back to die. The reason that is because Richard does not have garrison skills. He only has open field skills in his skill set. So, open field and rally, I should say. Zenobia's a little different. Again, she has massive heals, which is a big detriment for Richard. However, Zenobia's garrison skills counteract the problem that you have with those heals coming back and generating more dead, because they're mitigating a lot of the stuff that you're getting when it comes to dead troops and severely wounded and things like that. And really, when it comes to Attila Takeda, Zenobia, from a survivability and a trade standpoint, is your gold standard bread and butter. She's who you want to have. Theodora was a good stopgap and still is to a certain degree. And if you want to use Zenobia and Theodora, why not? You get a best of both worlds. You get proper damage, you get proper survivability, even a little bit of support stuff from Zenobia too. When it comes to players around the structure that you're garrisoning, getting some extra buffs and getting some heals as well. So very, very nice. Survivability definitely going to Zenobia. Versatility. Now, I thought hard about this on what did I want to mean by versatility. And I think what I came up with is I wanted to know how easy is this commander used? How easy is this commander, and where can this commander be used? And I had to give the green check mark to Theodora. Reason being, one, she's a mixed troop commander, so technically you can do a nice little siege action with Theodora and be just fine, although I detest that strategy wholeheartedly. I also think that, again, being a mixed troop style commander, you can make her primary, and then in an arc situation, in an open field situation, and then certainly in a city, your own city situation, you're utilizing all your troops' benefits. So all the stuff that you're giving Theodora from a talent perspective is contributing towards all the troop types and not just the one. Now, with that being said, your best returns, open field, garrison, being flags, passes, forts, things like that, and then certainly, not that you need a great return per se, but in arc as well, is going to be single troop type. Now, do you forego the better return in favor of maybe keeping the structure a little bit easier because you have multiple troop types as a primary? In a defense situation, I would argue that that's a good thing. In a rally situation, like with a Mehmed or with a Charlemagne or with, any of those mixed troop rally commanders, it's a different story because you have 100% dead. You don't have the 50-50 split like a defender has. So for defense, I think that mixed troop is not bad at all. And Theodora, I think, because of that, wins the versatility. So right now it's 2-1 in favor of Theodora. And, it's kind of, as I was putting this thing together, and I was kind of like, well, I mean, Zenobia is the clear choice. People want to have Zenobia 100%. But as I was putting this together, I mean, Theodora plays out very well. And let's, with that being said, let's go to the fourth one here. The fourth one is, do you need to max this commander for her to be as effective as she needs to be? And the answer is yes to both of them. And I'm trying to move my head a little bit there. Because here's the thing. The thing that makes Theodora special, it's not so much the AoE damage, because you get that with YSG. It's not so much the damage reductions and damage increases to rallies, because you get that with Wu. It's the removal of the debuffs, which is very, very critical in rally situations, especially in ARC, especially everywhere. Let's just say especially everywhere, because it's always good to remove these debuffs that people are putting on your garrison. Now, you tend to have those debuffs more in ARC, and that's the reason I started saying that, because there's no dead in ARC. So you're more likely to swarm a garrison with, just for the sake of argument, Ethelfled Barca, where it's debuff, right? Or Constantine Ethelfled. You're not necessarily going to see that as often in the open field because it costs you a little bit to do that, because it costs you dead. And a single march swarming a flag with Theodora in it, destined for greatness in the halls of, you just lost a crap ton of troops. So most people aren't doing that. Now, there are players that do it, and it's not necessarily a bad thing to do it. It might make more sense overall to have that. However, it's costly. So that being said, that's Theodora's really her main claim to fame, is the removal of basically any kind of debuff in the game for the most part, and it's valuable. It's very valuable to have that. Zenobia's need to max is her buffs on the expertise. That health and damage buff is huge. It is huge. 30% all damage for 2 seconds, especially if you have a damage commander right behind Zenobia. Woo, like Theodora, or Woo, or YSG, or anything, really. Anything works with Theodora or Zenobia as a secondary, because Zenobia is so good in the garrison. She just does really, really well in most situations. And I'll say which situations she's not good in after we finish this fifth category, which is, what mode is this commander better in? ARC or KVK? I'm going to go ahead and have to drop my beautiful face here because I need you to be able to read what I want to put on screen. So here we go. Bye. All right, here we go. They're both good for both. Now, I did want to emphasize, and again, we kind of discussed this a little bit earlier. Theodora, her main strength is KBK because of the versatility that she has in the ability to use multiple troop types, right? So she might not be the best when it comes to countering Attila Takeda. She's good. She's not the best, though. That's Zenobia. But she's good at using what's available on the field and incorporating multiple troop types, therefore not really zeroing out all your infantry and all your archers if you were going Artemisia primary, or all your Cav, heck, depending on which KBK you're in, Cav with Attila Takeda, or Saladin YSG, depending on which KBK, right? That's the benefit of Theodora, and even a YSS, which we'll do another battle card on as well. Her strength is KBK because of that reason. She can be deployed wherever, and she can be filled with whatever, and ultimately do what she needs to do, which is hold that structure. If you've got the field, or at least some semblance of it, you're in good shape. Zenobia, again, works well in both, and again, if it's just Attila rallies all over the place, then Zenobia, doesn't matter where she's at, she's the best. However, people have started reusing Edward Tommy, Guan Mehmed, Guan Leo, Guan Alex, even Saladin to a certain extent is getting reused now in the later KBKs because of the skill damage reduction and all that good stuff, and the swarm. Ramses YSG, Ramses Tamiris, that kind of thing. Those are all being used now, and Zenobia, while she is the best at anti-Attila and really anti any single rally, her weakness is swarm. So again, in Arc, that's why you want to have a swarm commander behind Zenobia, like a Wu, like a Theodora, like a YSG, like a Richard for even more heals, that kind of thing, right? For Theodora, her best strength is that she's kind of a little bit better off against the swarm because of the AoE that she has and all that good stuff. Zenobia, really, her strength is healing the crap out of that structure so that she doesn't go down. But if you have so much damage coming in, you just can't out-heal that. So that's where Zenobia starts to kind of crumble a little bit, is the swarm. So her strength is the arc because, again, as long as you put her beside or behind or in front of a Theodora, a YSG, a Wu, a Richard, it can kind of counteract her weakness, which is that swarm functionality there. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap the video up here on this battle card of the Titans of Garrisons, really. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers. Have a good one. Take care.